Okay, so people are slowly getting on. I'm going to get started. I'm going to pull up my presentation, just get started. Here's, thanks, babe. Still trying to figure out, all the technical stuff. But let's see. Okay, here it is. Bye, love. Bye, Lillian. I love you. Daddy. Oh, we can have it later. How's that? Okay. That's my daughter. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to get started here. See, there it is. Okay. Okay. I think we got it. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, let's get started. Okay, all right, so good. We're on day 2 now of the 5-day challenge. And then, so your goal for this week is to start really looking for what type of market that you're going to be in. Right now we're going to talk about wholesaling, and I'm going to give you all a brief overview of how wholesaling works, so that you guys can get started looking for, getting into your market and looking for what you need to be working on. All right, so. And you could even, I'm going to teach you today even how to wholesale directly from your house, right? So virtually, right? Because I don't want to go look for houses and stuff right now. It's getting a little bit better now, but you can definitely make sure that's all good. Okay. You can definitely wholesale now, and I love wholesaling, right? Because wholesaling is basically the foundation of your business. If you can wholesale, then you can wholesale any type of property. I've wholesaled houses, commercial buildings, storage facilities. I've wholesaled a lot of different properties, so you can also do this as well. And let's get started. Okay, so make sure you can see my screens, or I should say you're in the right place. I want to make sure that you can see you're in the right place. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is virtual wholesaling, right? And don't confuse virtual wholesaling with, with wholesaling. It's the same exact thing, except for I want you to be able to start looking for properties right from your house right now, okay? So what that means is that, you're going to learn today, like how to market, right? What kind of marketing you should be doing. And actually what we're going to talk about today is deal analysis as well too, the wholesaling process and deal analysis. And I'm going to get in and try to help you guys figure out how to do that as well too. I'm going to make sure that I have my mirror on too. So just in case we need to write on this, we can write on this. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Wholesaling. All right, has anybody here wholesaled anything at all, or heard of wholesaling, or never heard of wholesaling? Just let me know, like, if you've, like, I just have no idea what wholesaling is, or I've heard of it but I've never done it before, or I've been trying to do it for 6 months and I still haven't been able to do anything at all, right? That's kind of the thing. So for me personally, I feel that wholesaling is your gateway drug into the whole world of investing in real estate. It's the gateway drug. If you do not know how to wholesale, then you really can't quite understand the foundations of what everything is, right? Because what happens is that you want to set your business up so that you can wholesale any type of deal out there, but at the same time, you get a choice of whether or not you want to keep that project, you want to keep that deal for yourself, right? So what that means is that you want to become a transaction engineer. You want to really understand how, what to do with every single type of deal that comes across your plate. And I'm telling you that if you understand how to wholesale, that's going to give you the basis of like deals coming in, and then you get to have the choice of whether or not you want to keep it or not keep it for yourself, okay? And so what that means is that we're going to go through the foundations of how you can set everything up and what wholesaling is. Good. All right. Okay, good. So Jennifer says, I only heard of it from another seminar you hosted. And Tony says, yes, I've heard of it, but I haven't done it. Okay, good, good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to wholesale today, and take you step by step on kind of what the whole transaction looks like. And then what we'll do is, if we have time at the end, we'll get into some analysis, some deal analysis, and you can understand how to run numbers on a wholesale deal, so that you can, you know, start looking for deals, right? Start looking for deals. Okay, so, and wholesaling, like I said, is the gateway drug. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to go over all the different niches out there, you know, that you should be focusing on right now. So the question is, what should I be doing right now in today's market, right? What should I be doing? And we talked yesterday about the market. It's going to be either a V shape or it's going to be a U shape, right? The V shape means it's going to drop in 6 months and go up in 6 months, right? And the U shape means it's going to take about 12 months to drop and then another 12 months to come back up. So nobody really knows kind of what's going to happen over the next couple of months, but everybody is predicting that there's a drop. And in fact, across the entire United States, there is a 20% decrease in home sales right now. 20% decrease than what there was like just 4 or 5 months ago. And as of, I think February was like the best month yet, like our highest month yet. And then all of a sudden, everything just dropped. April, there was a 20% decrease in all home sales. And I can guarantee you that over the course of the next couple of months, it's going to get worse and worse. And especially with all of these forbearances coming up and foreclosures and rents not being paid, and then also if you heard or not heard all of the states that are saying, like, you know, they're saying like, you know, it's okay for rents not to be paid right now, and then people getting taken advantage of and stuff. So there's a lot of states, like I think Oregon, a couple of other states that have passed these laws that basically say, like, it's okay for people to not pay their rent right now, and just like, and renters have to, landlords have to deal with the renters, right? And just be like, so, you know, and there's a lot of tenant protection, but there's not a lot of like owner protection, which is what a lot of lobbyists, for instance, for like the national RIA, are lobbying for. Is like, well, how, you know, okay, great, you want to protect the tenants, awesome, but how do you protect the sellers as well? So when you talk about wholesaling, you're going to be talking about like three different things. Three different things come up. We're going to get into those today. Is we're going to talk about out of the 6 departments that we have, right? There's really kind of 3 departments that you focus on as a wholesale. One of them is the marketing department. You got to market to get leads as a wholesaler. Number 2 is the acquisitions department, and then number 3 is the liquidations department. Okay, so and you need to be, you need to be able to sell. You need to find them, you need to put them under contract, and you need to sell them. That's like, sorry, prior. You need 3 departments. You need those 3 departments is what we're going to focus on today. Okay. And the best part about wholesaling is that if you don't want to, you don't have to go out and meet the seller, right? So I'm talking about virtual wholesaling, okay? Now, and you can do, and I mean, essentially you do have to go out and look at the property, right? But what you can do is that you can set your business up so that you're not the person that goes out and looks at the property. If you don't want to go out and look at the property, you don't have to. You can have like a boots on the ground person to go out and run deal analysis for you. All that means is that you have to partner with somebody or have to hire somebody to go do this. And there are people out there that do like boots on the ground due diligence. What that means is that, let's say you do set your marketing up, you do start getting calls coming in, you answer the phone, you talk to the seller, you do the comps, you try to figure out what the deal analysis is, you're doing most of the work. Once you put the offer in, all right, then if they say yes, okay, if you say, yeah, I'm going to offer $50,000 and the owner says, okay, send me over a contract, you send the contract. Once the contract is signed, then you get a boots on the ground person to go out and take a look at the property for you. Now you have to pay this person to go do this. Like essentially they need to go out to the property, they need to assess the repairs, right? They need to assess like how much it's going to cost for the, for the repairs of the property. And they need to take a lot of pictures, like 100 pictures of the property, like every single thing. And they need to do a video of the property, right? But essentially, you can set your business up to virtually wholesale, meaning you do 80% of the work, and then somebody else does the 20% of the work. And the 20% of the work is to go out to the property, take pictures of the property, and like figure out the repair analysis. And that could even be a contractor that you hire to do that, but some sort of boots on the ground person to go out and take a look at the property. Okay, and that's what I mean by virtual wholesale. So essentially, you can't just virtually wholesale and not go see the property, but you can be the person that kind of manages the in-office stuff, and then have somebody go out and take a look at the property for you to make sure that what the seller is selling, what the seller is telling you is correct. So, for instance, if you're talking on the phone to a seller and you're filling and you're asking all the questions like, okay, so what's your address, and so tell me about the property. Oh, it's 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,300 square feet. It's got a big yard. And then you say, okay, well, what's the repairs on the property? And they say, oh yeah, no repairs at all, right? And you say, okay, well, just tell me this. Like, if I gave you $20,000 right now, what would you fix on the house? And you say, oh, $20,000, I would do this and this and this and this, right? So. And then they say, okay, and then you go through, say, okay, what would you like for the property? Say, I'd like, $100,000 or whatever. I say, okay, well, this is a reasonable price for us. We can put it under contract for this much. But then the thing is that we're going to have to come out and look at your property, and we're going to have to do repair analysis. So if you're saying that only this, and this are the repairs that need to get done, then great, this price is a great price. But if we go out and find other repairs that need to get done, then the price is going to drop, because we're basing our offer based on repairs that you tell us, right? And so then they say, well, actually, you should do this and this and this as well too, right? You say, okay, well, then it really needs to be at 90,000. Can you do 90,000? Yeah, I can do 90,000. Okay, we're going to go out and take a look at the property. And if you say this, and this, or what needs to get done, and nothing else needs to get done, then okay, we're going to buy this place for $90,000, right? But if you tell us that nothing else needs to get done, then obviously the price is going to change now. And the thing is that when you do like virtual wholesaling like that, what happens is that you leave everything really up to the buyers or up to the seller, right? So you're basically saying like, look, we're not coming out to your house to take a look at it until you actually put this house under contract. All right. And so that means that we're going to trust everything that you tell us is true, because we're basing our offer off of the information that you give us. Right. And so you can actually do your offers that way if you want to do that, and a lot of women do it that way too. So a lot of women just like, and actually, it's really good for a woman to talk on the phone, because it's just easier. Like I feel like, people are willing to talk to women more than men. So a lot of the times, like, you can just be on the phone talking to them, and building up rapport, and then giving them an offer, and then you get like somebody that's boots on the ground, contractor, a home inspector, or whoever you want to hire to go and do this, to give you like a true assessment of the property, and then see if what the buyer says is correct with what you say. But you do not send them out until you get an offer under contract. And that's literally how virtual wholesaling is done. Okay. And then you could also do it the other way, where you just like don't give an offer, right? You can go out to the property and look yourself and do the repair estimate, and then say, hey, I'll give you an offer like within the next 24 hours, and you go back and run comps and give an offer. Which there's 2 different ways for you to do that. We'll kind of get into both of those today, okay? Okay, so how to wholesale anything. All right, so we're talking about wholesaling now. So if anybody's hopping on new or whatever, something like this. So basically, there's only really 4 steps in the wholesaling process. That's it. Is you just you just go out, you market to find your property, right? You do marketing, right? We'll talk about marketing today a little bit. And marketing is honestly the key to getting calls coming in, right? So you have to market, and it's consistent marketing. It's not just marketing randomly. I'll send 30 letters out here, and I'll look on Craigslist here and stuff. It's like, okay, what is my marketing plan, right? What exactly am I going to be doing to get leads to be coming in, right? And how am I going to do that? So finding a property is step number one. Step number two is talking. When they call up, you talk to the seller, you build rapport, and then you make an offer, right? You either go out, look at the place and make an offer to them, or you make an offer over the phone and then you go out and look at the place, right? In the very beginning, I was going out to every single house that anybody that called me that allowed me to come out and meet them, I just went out there and met them, because I just wanted to figure out how to do it. Honestly, I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to get that pitch down. I wanted to learn how to assess properties. I wanted to, get the confidence that I needed to talk to people. I wanted to get practice in making 3 to 5 different offers, right? So I would just go out and just talk to as many people that allowed me to talk to me. And that's how I learned how to wholesale. And then after a while, I would just make a blind offer. Like after I started getting used to it, and I'd done so many deals, I was just like, okay, tell me what you want for the property. And I knew my little area. And so I knew the area that I worked in so well, like the back of my hand, right? That they would tell me 123 Main Street, and I would say, okay, well, what price do you want? Okay, well, that's not exactly the price that I would pay in that area. Like I've done like so many rehabs, I bought a lot of houses in that area, and I know how much those houses are worth. So I'll give you this much. If you want to take this, then then we can negotiate something. But if you don't want that much, then we can't do a deal. And the reason why is because I literally had just done so many deals in that one area that I could just make blind offers. I just knew how to do that. And so that would be your goal, right? Is eventually to be where you could just talk on the phone, make an offer, and then after they accept your offer, then go out and take a look at it. And what that does is that minimizes just all of that time, that wasted time that you have going to all the houses and putting offers in, right? But I mean, it just all comes with experience. So that's kind of how that works. And so you talk to the seller, you make negotiations, you run your deal analysis, and then you put it under contract, right? So you fill out, you get the contract filled out. You can either, a lot of time in the beginning, I was there signing the contract with the other person and getting it done. And a lot of wholesalers do it this way. They just are there and they sign it. But also what I did is after a while, like I would just make like a letter, an offer letter that said, "Dear Joan Smith, thank you for letting me see your house. I'm very interested in buying it. Here are my offers." And I would do like, 1, 2, or 3 different offers. If you're interested in any one of these offers, please let me know. Give me a call and we can discuss it, and I can send you a contract. And I would just email that offer to them. And then they would either call me or email me back and say, yes or no, I want this offer. And then I would send over the contract. And then I would just do a DocuSign on the contract. Okay. But in the very beginning, I was going to their houses and making the offer there and getting the contract signed, because I needed that experience. I needed to know how to do that. But as I grew, I would just make it so automatic that I wasn't, I didn't have to waste a lot of time, So that is putting it under contract. And then after you put it on the contract, guess what? You got to find a buyer for it, right? So it's not over. Everybody's so excited to get the house under contract. But guess what? The hardest part is finding the buyer, right? And especially nowadays, right? Because a lot of buyers are gone now. A lot of buyers are gone. There's really a very small pool of people that are buying. I used to be able to do like an email blast. And I would send out houses. And at one time, I would get a couple hundred people interested in that one house. Oh my gosh, it was crazy, right? And now I still do email blasts and stuff, and I'll just get like a couple people interested in the house, And they're also like really good flips, really good areas and stuff too. But the buyer's pool has gone very, very slow, very, very small. And so what you need to do is you need to find the buyers. Find the buyers in the area and in your area, and just find only properties that they want, right? and you can farm those properties. And I'm telling you, every area and every market, there's always 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 buyers that you can talk to. Or what you can do is you can partner with somebody else. There's a lot of partnering going on in our area, right? So one person works in one area, but when they, you know, when they send marketing out, the person that calls them says, well, I don't have anything in this area, but I do have something in that area. And so what they'll do is they'll call like the biggest wholesalers in that area, and they'll partner in that area and try to sell that house that way. Right? But you want to work on building your buyers list, because believe me, I've had students where I teach this, and then what happens is they go through every single, you know, they go through all these steps, they get it under contract, they're so excited, and guess what? They never ever worked on their buyers list. They didn't work on their buyers list at all, right? And so then they're doing things like trying to list it on the MLS, and then they have to take a cut because of that, you know, or they're trying to partner and they just don't know who to partner with. And so you need to really, and that's why I say it's so important for you to get involved in your RIAs, because maybe the person in your area, the top wholesalers in your area are not part of that RIA, but there are people in that, and they're in your RIA that know these top wholesalers and can help you to find who in your area would be the top people to try to sell those properties to. Right? So highly recommend that you get involved in your RIA so that you can build your buyers list. Okay. And actually, did anybody go out and look for the RIAs in their area? Is anybody involved in a RIA right now, or went out and looked in the RIA and tried to, you know, get more information about that? Because that's going to be one of your homeworks, is to try to find the RIAs in your area and become a member of them and see, like, especially right now, what are they doing virtually, you know, to have their meetings, and are they meeting in person, right? So, you know, are you allowed to meet in person? I know, like, I was talking to one of our vendors, and he travels around the country and goes to like all the RIAs. He's a member of like all of the biggest RIAs in the state, in the country, and that's what he does, is just travel around and go to these RIA meetings. He hasn't done anything in the last couple of months, but he said in Florida, I think it's the Orlando one is going to meet at the end of this month. And I'm hoping that we'll meet in person in July. Ours is on July 3rd. So I'm hoping that we're going to meet, but I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to meet or not. So instead of us doing like face-to-face meetings for our RIAs, we've been doing virtual meetings. And then during the virtual meetings, we do like a speed networking thing where everybody can come on and introduce themselves. And they get like 1 minute to do that. So you still get to meet people, it's just that you're not face-to-face. So they should be doing stuff like that. Your RIAs should be doing something like that. So try to find your RIAs and meetings that are doing that, okay? So that way you at least start meeting people and building your network, even while all this craziness is going on, okay? So essentially that is the wholesaling steps: finding a property, talking to the seller, putting it under contract, and finding a buyer, okay? Those are your 4 steps to wholesaling, okay? So now, remember that we talked about this yesterday. These are the departments that you're going to be focusing on for your wholesaling. All right, for wholesaling, right? Office admin, we talked about yesterday. I'm not going to get into that again. It's all about, you know, setting up your phones and going electronic and stuff like this. We're going to talk today about marketing. So what I'm going to do is see if I can, now. I'm going to stop my screen share for just a minute, and I'm going to pull up, here we, if I can. If I can figure this out. Of course, my husband left, so. Let's see if it's here. I wonder why this mirror. Oh, you know what? Maybe because but let me just do this. Okay. Testing. Where did you put my? Right in a sec here. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen. I'm going to pull up, let me pull up Facebook again. See it? Yeah, okay. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you see my whiteboard? Let me know if y'all can see it in the chat. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Let me know if you can see my whiteboard in the chat. I have looking good. It's coming up a little slow. It's like a 30-second lag. Let me know. Y'all can see the whiteboard? Okay, good. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Cool. Okay. All right. So let's talk about marketing real fast. Okay. Let's talk about marketing. So when we talk about marketing, and I'm telling you that with wholesaling, you have to market to be consistent. You have to market. All right. And so unfortunately, marketing costs money. All right, so I'm not sure what everybody's budgets are in here, but you've got to spend a little to make a little, right? So maybe a couple $100s a month when you first start out, but essentially you've got to spend a little to make a little. So when I talk about marketing, I talk about there's free marketing, there's free, there's direct mail, there is online marketing, okay? There's 3 different ways for you to market, all right? And under free, you're gonna have Craigslist, all right? You're going to have, and Craigslist is basically, you're going to go into Craigslist and you're going to go into the real estate sections of Craigslist in your local area, and you're going to look for properties that are for sale. Maybe there's some dumpy houses for sale, and maybe, you can, and maybe they're for sale by owner. So you can talk to them and see like, hey, would you be interested in selling? Is it actually an owner or is it a wholesaler, right? So, that's kind of how you do free. It's very time consuming and you're doing a lot of the work, right? You're doing a lot of the work. But I'm telling you, I know people that they use the Craigslist system and they find deals all the time on Craigslist. So you could get in there, go to the real estate section, and then try to find some deals that way, right? And what you could also do is you could build your buyers list on Craigslist, right? And this is an easy way to do this. You can post out in the real estate section, and put like put a picture up of a house and play, like an ugly house and say, for sale by owner, and please call me if you're interested. And then and then you'll get calls of people that want to buy that, and then you say, oh, I'm sorry, that one already sold. Would you be interested in being put on my buyer's list so that I can, the next house that I get, I can blast it out to you, and you'll get buyers that way. It's a good way to build your buyers list. Okay, so Craigslist, I personally don't use Craigslist because it's too much work, but if you don't have any money at all, Craigslist is the best way for you to do money. And then this other way is not free, but it is cheap, and it's bandit signs, and everybody knows about bandit signs, I'm sure, right? But essentially these are, the square boxes that say, this is the one that says, I buy houses, right? These things, okay? So you can go out and you can put them, now watch out for the bandit police. Put them out on Fridays and pick them out on Sundays, right? But you can put these out there. You can go put these out and people will call you. Either buyers will call you and sellers will call you. And then you'll get a couple of leads that way as well too. I have a couple of friends that the houses that they find are only from bandit signs, really. So, and they don't. This is not people that do a lot of deals, right? If you do a lot of deals, you have it more automated. But if you just want to do 1 or 2 or 3 deals or whatever, then these are the types of, the free stuff is the types of stuff that you'll be doing. Okay. If you can think of any other free things, let me know, because these are really kind of the 2 biggest ones. But if you have any other suggestions for the group, then please let me know. We'll write them on the list. Now, direct mail marketing, of course, everybody does this, and you essentially buy a list, right? You come in and you buy a list, and then you can just send out letters to them. You can either send the letters out yourself, or you can automate it and send it to a fulfillment company, right? So, and what I'll do is I'll buy a list of like 4,000 or 5,000 names, and then I'll send it to a fulfillment company, and they'll just mail out like a couple hundred letters every single week. Okay, and that's basically direct mail marketing. So you want to if you're interested in this, wonder why this keeps saying pause. Okay, so and then when you get a list, you want to tell the difference between a motivated seller and an unmotivated seller. Okay, motivated and unmotivated. Okay, basically is the difference in the direct mail marketing. A motivated seller, okay. A motivated seller is going to be bankruptcy, foreclosure, pre-foreclosure. Okay, I know you guys can't read this very well, but pre-foreclosure, bankruptcy, foreclosure, pre-foreclosure is what that says. Tax lien, evictions. We'll come up with the whole list of these. These are all motivated sellers. These are people like, I need to sell my house fast, right? Because I need money like right now. Okay, that is motivated sellers. And you have unmotivated sellers, like probate, inherited, absentee owner, and free and clear. Okay, absentee owner is what that says. Okay, so probate, inherited properties, absentee owner, free and clear. Okay. Hang on. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. The broadcast has been paused. It will resume slowly. Why is this paused? Getting information. Should work. Sure. Okay. Let's try this. Uh-oh. Go back. Something happened to the video and it just stopped. So let me go back. For some reason, I don't know why it stopped. It just stopped. Okay, hang tight. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure everybody on the FB Live is good. I see a couple of y'all here and a couple of y'all there. So just give me 1 second. I'm not sure why Facebook just dropped. Okay, we're back. All right, if you can, hop on, okay? This is the I don't know what happened with Facebook, but it just dropped. So who knows with Facebook? Where's my whiteboard? Okay. All right, so now we're back to this. Oops, share screen. Okay. All right, so hopefully everybody hops on and we can get started again. Okay, you can see my my whiteboard. Okay, everybody should be able to see it now. So with your direct mail marketing, all right, with direct mail marketing, you can see now we have motivated and unmotivated sellers. And when you market for wholesaling, it's a strategy, right? This is not something that you just like pick some random list and then market to it and be like, oh, I hope people call me kind of a thing, right? It's really a strategy. And the better that you get at, the more leads you're going to get, okay? So what I think, so basically what I'm thinking is that motivated and unmotivated sellers, you have probate, inherited properties, absentee owners, free and clear is what you have, okay? So when you start deciding what type of list that you want to buy, you have to figure out what your strategy is, okay? So with motivated sellers, you have to be on the ball, because what's going to happen is these people, you have to figure out how to handle them and their problems and solve their problems within just a week or two, right? Very, very soon. You know, it's very, you have to be quick on your feet, okay? With motivated sellers. So you're going to, so let's just say you pick like, you know, the pre-foreclosure or the bankruptcy or whatever, they're going to be through bankruptcy court in a very short amount of time. You know, every state is a little bit different, right? But essentially you have to move quick and you have to solve their problems. So you have to understand things like, you're not only going to give them a cash offer, but you're also going to give them an offer for maybe subject to, or you're going to do some sort of creative deal structure with them, right? So you really need to understand creative deal structuring, and we'll talk about that. I think on Thursday we're going to do creative deal structuring. So at least you kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about either subject to, lease options, owner financing, this kind of thing. Now, that's on the motivated list. So you have to truly understand creative deal structuring so that you can give them several different offers. I'm telling you that most investors do not understand creative deal structuring, and they only give one offer, and that's a cash offer. If nobody takes their cash offer, then they move on to the next house. Well, guess what? If you can make several different offers, then you can get more and more deals, right? So you want to really learn and understand creative deal structuring. And unfortunately, it just comes with practice. It's not like I can sit there and tell you what to do, because what it is it's a house by house basis. It's a property by property basis. And so you have to take each case one by one. It's not like you can say, oh yeah, well, here's the structure or whatever. You just can't do that. So so you need to really understand, you need to just practice. You need to practice giving several different offers, because most of the time they're just going to take cash unless you know how to offer it properly, right? And so like, I'm about to buy 3 storage facilities and I convinced the owner to owner finance to me, right? Just because I educated him on really like how it works and stuff, you know? So, so I said, once you do creative deal structuring, once you learn how to wholesale, you can wholesale any property. Once you learn how to do creative deal structuring, you can do that to any type of property, right? And so those for me are like the 2 most important things to learn within the real estate investing world, because they're strategies, right? They're not just niches, they're strategies. Right? Whereas like rehabbing is like, it's a niche, right? You can get better at maybe like saving money on your rehabs and stuff. But with wholesaling and creative deal structuring, you can really do a lot of types of deals. Okay. And And then we want to talk a little bit about like what you need to be sending. My personal opinion is just the first time that you send anything to a motivated seller, you don't want to send them a postcard in the mail that says going through foreclosure, because people don't want everybody to know their business. So sending a postcard for foreclosure or pre-foreclosure is personally not a good idea. Okay. So you want to just send a nice letter that says, hey, look, I'm looking for properties to buy. I live in your area. My husband and I are looking for another property to buy. Would you be interested in selling? That's it. That's it. Don't even bring up the foreclosure or the pre-foreclosure. Just say like, you know, I'm looking for a property to buy. My personal opinion on the very first one. All right. And then on unmotivated sellers, it's all about building rapport. Building rapport. So probate, inherited properties, absentee owners, which are landlords, a lot of times landlords, or people that are free and clear, they just, you know, it's like they don't have any motivation to sell their house. I mean, it's just like, you know, one day they'll sell maybe, you know, but like, you know, when the time is right and you know, if you're the one that's there when they're ready to sell, then they'll sell it to you, kind of a thing, right? So you have to really build rapport with them. And this is where you have to truly understand how to negotiate, how to talk with people, and get them to close the deal. And you have to know creative deal structuring. And you have to know creative deal structuring as well too, because a lot of these deals could be perfect for creative deal structuring, and perfect for owner financing, you know, or something like this. Okay, so with unmotivated sellers, again, just send them a letter. Everybody says, do I do postcards or letters? I personally like letters better than postcards. I know postcards are cheaper, but I like a letter because it's more private, right? When it's handwritten, then, you know, when it's a handwritten letter, then, you know, when not a handwritten letter, but a handwritten envelope, you know, or maybe even a colored envelope. Like, it would be good to send all these letters out and, like, you know, buy like a list of absentee owners and send them out in a pink envelope, right? If I get a pink envelope in the mail, I'm going to open that sucker up. I don't care what's in it, right? You know, so that's what I used to do. Is I used to color code my my letters, and I used to do, because I used to do 3 lists at a different time. I do probate, pre-foreclosure, and then like distressed properties or something. And I would color code them and say, okay, like red is for probate, and green is for, you know, pre-foreclosure, and black is for distressed properties. I do black, and I would do like black with a silver pen, green with like a red pen, and then like red with a green pen or something like that, you know. And then basically what would happen is when people called, I'd be like, oh, awesome. And I was like, oh, you got my letter. Good. Can you tell me what color your envelope is? And they tell me, oh yeah, I want black, because they always remember the envelope color. They always remember the envelope color. And so they'll say, oh yeah, you send me the black one. And I know, okay, well, that's probate. So then I say, okay, well, then I would know how to talk to them when I sent so many lists out, right? So that's kind of how we do that. So we're doing right now, we're doing a land list. Actually, land falls under unmotivated, right? Land is definitely unmotivated. And we're doing a land list right now. And we're actually sending them in manila envelopes that are like half size of manila envelopes. So we just fold the paper right in half, and then we stick it in, and we mail it, and then we handwrite it. And so everybody's opened up these envelopes, you know, because they're like, oh, I got this big envelope. What is it? You know, so we just try stuff like that is what we do with our lists. So you want to be, that's what I'm saying, marketing is a strategy. Marketing is not something where you just go out and buy a list and then mail it out and whatever. Marketing is a strategy, and you want to be as smart as you possibly can with the strategy, okay? Now, and then also, what was I going to say? Motivated and unmotivated lists. Any questions on that, on direct mail marketing? Right? So, and you know, and then also with the motivated list, you're going to be mailing more often, right? Because you're like maybe once every couple of weeks, you're going to be like mail, right? Because they're going into foreclosure, you know, so you want to be like on top of it. Whereas an unmotivated, you can mail them like once a month or once every couple of months. And, you know, and after they get your, you know, after they get your letter like 5 or 6 times, you know, then it's like, fine, I'll call this person, you know what I'm saying? But it does take like, I mean, sometimes it takes, 10 or 20 or 30 touches for somebody to call. And like in the email marketing world, my coach says like you do like 30 touches, in order to get somebody to do anything from you, right? So in this world, in the direct mail marketing world for properties, don't just mail them out one time and then give up, right? You can just remail that list over and over and over again. So you can buy a list and then just mail it over and over, and just utilize that list. I mean, you spent the money on it, you might as well take advantage of it. Now, the bigger players don't do that. The bigger players, they just buy list, mail order, out. But us, little people here, just get a list, a really nice list, a good list. Now, I can give you my list broker's phone number, so you can talk to her. Her name is Karen, and she does lists all across the country, and her lists are really, really good. And she's awesome. And I've been using her for about 8 years now. I get all my lists from her, so you can actually talk to her if you're interested. I'll put it into the chat, into the Facebook group. If I ever forget, just remind me. I'll put it in the Facebook group where you can call her and talk to her about getting some lists for direct mail marketing. Okay. So her name is Karen Anderson, or Karen Collingwood. I've known her since she was at Collingwood, and now she's in Anderson. So I might mix that up, but just remind me, and I'll put her phone number, and then y'all can talk to her. And actually, that's your homework. Is just call and set an appointment with her, and just talk to her and introduce yourself, and tell her that you're one of my students. She knows we've befriended each other because we've been working together for like 8 years now. And she's actually come to visit me, and I go visit her, and all this kind of stuff. So what I would do is let her know that you're my student, right? So she can give you the Stacy discount. Okay. Finally, let's talk about online marketing. All right, online marketing, right? And I use a company called Carrot. You don't have to use Carrot. Has anybody ever heard of Carrot before? Carrot, you can just go. I'll put the link in the Facebook group so everybody can have that link as well too. Because what you can do is you can get a demo. But basically, what online marketing is a company that's going to build your website for you. All right, it's going to cost you a couple $100s to get a website, a nice website built, right? And then they also, on the back office of your website, they do all your SEO, PPC, and get you leads is what they do. So basically, they're an online website that builds your website for you. And then on top of that, they do all your online marketing for you, and they get you the leads, and they're like a syndication site. What they do is if you're in an area, you say, look, I want to get like whatever, Northeast Atlanta area or whatever, or I want to get like the North Georgia mountains, right? So they'll build this website, and then they'll start funneling leads right to your website. So if somebody comes up and says like, sell my house, North Georgia mountains or whatever, or sell my house, Jasper, Jordan or whatever, then these people will get funneled to you personally, right? And then you get your own private leads that nobody else has. Your own private leads that nobody else has, right? It's very custom and built for you, right? And then the only thing that you have to do is when they come to your website, they're going to fill your form out, and then you have to call them up, right? And talk to them and get the information and go out to see them, and then you have to close the deal, right? So I always think about like the marketing strategies that you need to be focusing on. You have to think about what kind of a business do you want to grow, right? Do you want one where with the direct mail marketing, you're going to have to be answering the phone all the time, right? Because when you have letters sent out, like you have to be essentially like at their beck and call from 8 o'clock in the morning until 8 o'clock at night. Now, what I do with direct mail marketing is I funnel everything to a voicemail, and then I call them back when I can, right? I call them back like on a specific day, or during that day, on that day, I call them back during a specific time. I say, okay, from 3 to 5, I'm going to call back all my leads or whatever. But essentially, you've got to be calling them. Whereas with online marketing, then you need to be, you know, like what's going to happen is you're just going to get that lead email to you that says, hey, so-and-so is interested in selling your house. Please give them a call. And they filled out kind of like a form with all their information on it. So you kind of get like it's a 3-2, if it's 2,500 square feet and it's whatever, and they're asking $250,000. So you kind of get all that, right? And then you can call them back like on your own time. You know what I'm saying? There's no rush because they know they filled the lead out and they know that you're going to give them a call because they get like an email back that says, hey, we got your lead. And then Stacy Rossetti is going to call you back within the next 24 hours, just, you know, just so you know. And that's kind of how it is. So like with direct mail marketing, it's a lot more like you're running around and you're basically trying to answer calls and then trying to call people back. And you want to make sure that you can set that up and automate it. Whereas the online marketing is like, you're only going to get a couple of leads a month, right? You're not going to get a lot of leads. You're going to get about 10 leads in a month. But, I mean, as the more you pay, the more leads that you get. But when you start out, the basics, you're going to get about 10 leads a month. And then you call them back, you know, as soon as you can. And there's not like any of this kind of rush thing because nobody else, and they haven't gotten any letters from anybody else, right? In the direct mail marketing world, like, you know, they probably got, you know, 5 or 10 or 15 different letters on their house. Whereas on the online marketing world, they are trying to contact you because nobody has ever contacted them before, right? So if they had gotten some letters in the mail, they would have just called these people. But since nobody's contacted them, that's your only lead, right? And then it's up to you. It's your job. It's your skills to be able to negotiate the price that you need and close the deal, right? So it's just two different ways of setting up your business, right? And I have some students that do direct mail marketing, some students that do online marketing, and some students that just do both, right? But I highly recommend. I'll put into the Facebook group the Carrot link so you can get a demo, right? You can get a quick demo and they can show you how it works. And I'll put into the Facebook group Karen Anderson's information so that you can call her and set up, you know, call her, maybe set an appointment up to talk to her and talk to her about the lists because she's like one of the best people out there for lists, I'm telling you. So I highly recommend you at least talking to her, right? And some of her lists are more expensive than other lists, yeah, but she can at least kind of guide you. And she's really good at like helping people like, yeah, I really want to do this. She's good at guiding and helping you to figure out what you want to do, okay? So you have the free marketing, you have the direct mail marketing, and you have the online marketing. Is there any questions about marketing at all that you think? And your homework for tonight is to start really thinking about what marketing strategies you're going to be focusing on, what you want to be doing over, you know, because the thing is that this stuff, setting up your direct mail marketing and setting up your online marketing it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time, right? So the longer you push it out, then the less chance that you have to be right in the middle of what's going to happen, right? And be ready with what's going to happen. So highly recommend that you kind of check out all three of these, which ones are going to be the best for you. And if you have any questions about any of the marketing at all, you can ask now, or as you're looking through and trying to figure out what you want to do, you can post them into the Facebook group and I can help you do that as well too, okay? So I'm going to get rid of this, go back to this camera. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about marketing or anything like that? And then let me see, let me make sure that I didn't forget anything on my presentation. Marketing. Yep, no, that's it. That's it, yeah. Okay, so any questions on marketing at all or anything that we've covered so far in the last 2 days? So your homework is to start trying to figure out which marketing strategies. What are other online sites? Like, what do you mean? Like online sites to do besides Carrot to do online marketing? I'm not 100% sure. There's really not a lot of sites out there that do online marketing for investors. Now, Carrot is only investors. Yeah, Carrot is only investors. That's it. So that's why I like Carrot is they only have investors. So if you just go to carrot.com And you can see kind of what their website looks like. You can see kind of how they put everything together. And it's only for investors. That's it. They're a company that works for investors, and they do leads for investors, online marketing for investors. So, and I'm not 100% sure if there's anybody else has a suggestion for another company, then put it into the Facebook group. But I don't really know of any other companies that are like this. I do know there's Investor Pro. You can check out Investor Pro. And Investor Pro will make you a website and do a website for you. And this is like, I haven't been to their website in a while because I really like Carrot, but they don't do any SEO for you. They don't do any like PPC, don't do any lead generation or anything like that. So they just make you a website. And they work for investors. But other than that, to do like lead gen and everything for investors, Carrot is probably one of the best companies out there, my personal opinion. Okay. So yeah, good question. What else? Any other questions about marketing? Anything else that you can think of? Okay. All right, cool. Well, let me know in the Facebook group if you have any questions. Just post them right in there and tag me in the post, all right? So I know to go in there, check, look, and see what's going on. And like your homework for today is going to be trying to figure out what marketing strategies, trying to talk to Carrot, and trying to do a demo with Carrot, and trying to talk to Karen and do a demo with Carrot. Okay. All right. And all of the videos are going to be inside the Facebook group, right? So you can find them inside the Facebook group, the replays, and then also the units. It's under units. So when you look at the page on the right side of the page, or no, this is the left side. On the left side of the page, there'll be a little section that says units. You can click on units and you can see all of the replays. So all 5 replays will be there in the end of the week. And we'll probably keep the group open for, a couple of weeks after that, but I'm not going to keep it open forever. So just make sure that you watch those and get all the information. Okay. All right, cool. Awesome. All right. I appreciate it. I think that's good. And we will see you tomorrow at the same time. Okay. All right. Take care. Take care, okay? And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.